morning to you, and how do you do? Good morning to you, good morning. Welcome to story time, everyone. I've got a guest with me. This is my oldest baby. This is Sophia. Say hi, Sophia.
Hi.
Sophia's on break from school, and she's going to help me out today, and we're going to do Once Upon a Time story time. What's a fairy tale, Sophia?
It's a book that cannot happen in real life.
Are you sure?
Maybe.
There are all kinds of fairy tale stories, and most of them, well, many of them are about like princesses, like the Princess and the Frog, or Rapunzel with her long golden hair. But did you know there are fairy tales that are not just about princesses? And we're going to read 3 different fairy tale stories today. I wish I had like a fairy tale hat to put on or something. I feel like I'm not complete, but that's okay. Let's go ahead and we'll sing our Welcome to Storytime song. Remember, it's in your Storytime bag if you picked up your supplies. Be ready? Welcome, welcome everyone. Now we're here, let's have some fun. First we'll sing the ABCs, then we'll read and sing with me and her. Welcome, welcome everyone. Now we're here, let's have some fun. Good job. Okay, you know what comes next? ABCs. Ready? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Now I know my ABCs. Next time, won't you sing with me? Very good. Okay, Storytime listeners, we're about to begin, but let's remember, what do we do to be good listeners? Sophia, what do you do with your mouth?
You be quiet.
No talking during the stories. What do we do with our wiggly bodies? Sophia, do you get up and dance?
No, you just sit down quietly.
Leave your body nice and still. And what do I do with my crazy hands? Do I go like this to my sister?
No, you put them in your lap.
Hands together and in your lap. Let's read book number 1. Interstellar Cinderella, written by Deborah Underwood, illustrated by Meg Hunt, published by Chronicle Books. Once upon a planetoid, amid her tools and sprockets, a girl named Cinderella dreamed of fixing fancy rockets. She fixed the robot dishwashers and Zoom brooms in her care. But late each night she snuck away to study ship repair. One day, her wicked stepsisters came dashing in, excited. The Princess Royal Space Parade! Our family's invited! I wish that you could come, my dear. Alas, no room. Although, why don't you fix that broken ship and fly it to the show? My toolbox, Cinderella cried. We're stranded here, I guess. But Murgatoid, the mouse, sent out a cosmic SOS. What's SOS? It means help. I'm here, your fairy god robot. I'll make you brand new tools. You'll need a spacesuit too, of course, atomic blue with jewels. This power gem will speed your ship across the starry sky. It only lasts till midnight. After that, your ship won't fly. Oh, thank you, Cinderella said. She quickly fixed the rocket, then tucked the sonic socket wrench inside her spacesuit pocket. She zoomed past stars and nebulae and parked beside a moon. The space parade was glorious. Each starship made her swoon. At last, the royal ship approached. Her heart was filled with yearning, the ship of Cinderella's dreams. But heavens, what was burning? The prince's spaceship jerked and hissed and spewed a cloud of grit. The prince hopped out. Oh, blast! What now? My chief mechanic quit. But Interstellar Cinderella knew just what to do. She zip-zapped with her socket wrench. The ship was good as new. The prince invited her aboard. Last stop, Galactic Hall. He said, I hope you'll join me for the gravity-free ball. They talked for hours of rocket ships. The time went whizzing by. Then Cinderella saw the clock and said, I have to fly. But wait, the prince called after her. Please tell me how to find. The girl was gone, but she had left her socket wrench behind. The prince sent a transmission to the farthest edge of space. I'll search the cosmos for her. How I wish I'd seen her face. The prince's ship! Grisella screeched. Her sister squealed in fear. The prince won't marry one of us if Cinderella's here. Their mother said, Don't worry. He won't find her in this house. I've trapped her in the attic with that useless robot mouse. That was not nice. The prince's cargo door revealed a broken craft within. The girl I seek can fix a ship, so who'd like to begin? He gave the sonic socket wrench to one, then to the other. Alas, they couldn't fix the ship, and neither could their mother. Cinderella struggled, but the space rope held her tight, till Murgatroyd's robotic teeth cut through it with one bite. Look, he saved her. The ship! It's leaving! Wait! What's this? She made a fast repair, then strapped a rusty jetpack on and blasted through the air. She landed right beside the prince. That wrench is mine, she cried. She quickly fixed the ailing ship. The prince said, Be my bride. She thought this over carefully. Her family watched in panic. I'm far too young for marriage, but I'll be your chief mechanic. Amid her fleet of sparkling ships and friends both old and new, a joyful Cinderella cried, My stars! Dreams do come true. The end.
Did you know that Cinderella could be interstellar in space? Well, that was a new take on a fairy tale, wasn't it? Let's go ahead and sing our first song. And this song is about Red Riding Hood, which is another fairy tale. It's called A Tisket, a Tasket, Red Riding Hood's Basket. Are you ready, Sophia?
Uh-huh.
A tisket, a tasket, Red Riding Hood's basket. She made a sandwich for my gran, but on the way she dropped it. She dropped it, she dropped it. On the way she dropped it. A wolf was hiding in a ditch and gobbled up the sandwich. That one's a fun one. I like that one. Now let's go ahead and read about some trolls.
Listen, my bridge is so cool. The story of the Three Billy Goat Scruff, as told by The Troll. Written by Nancy Lewin. Illustrated by Christian Bernardini. Published by Picture Window Books, which is an imprint of Capstone Publishers. Hello, my name is Artie. I'm the troll in that famous story about the goats. You know, the one with all the trip-trapping across a bridge. Are you surprised to see me? Did you think I was done for when the biggest goat kicked me off the bridge? Here, have some homemade bread and jam. It's a wild strawberry.
Settle back and I'll tell you the real story. I've never been like other trolls. In troll school, I got good grades, which meant I was the worst in my class. Trolls aren't supposed to be smart. Instead of practicing roars and chest thumping, I made art and baked pies. I wasn't big and clumsy. I didn't even smell bad. "Are you sure you're a troll?" the other students teased. "Maybe you're an elf." When we finished school, the Troll Placement Board gave us jobs. I was to guard a little bridge in the middle of nowhere. The other trolls laughed, but to me, the job was perfect. I loved my bridge. In my cozy home, I wrote poetry, danced, and cooked. I even played my flute. Once in a while, I saw 3 goats in the distance. But as soon as they saw me looking at them, the biggest goat ran away. The other 2 followed him. One day, a crow dropped a letter on my head. "Dear Artie, you're giving trolls a good name, which is very bad. Get mean, or we will remove you from your post, the Troll Patrol." Leave my home beneath a bridge? I thought. Never. I would have done anything to stay, even if that meant acting like all the other trolls did. Every day I practiced my growls, stomps, jumps, and thumps. Nervously, I waited for someone to come across my bridge. Finally, my chance came. It was a beautiful summer day. I was just about to make a batch of my world-class fish stew when I heard a clicking overhead. Trip, trap, trip, trap. This was it. I hopped atop the bridge and said, "Who's crossing my bridge?" A little goat looked at me curiously. "You're the troll?" he said. "Huh, okay." "Yes," I hollered, "and I'm going to gobble you up." "Oh, you don't want to eat me," the little goat said. "Wait for my brother. He's much bigger. He'll come along soon." "Fine," I said, and the goat trotted off with a grin. Back beneath the bridge, I calmed myself with a few sips of pine needle tea. Pretty soon I heard trip, trap, trip, trap. I scrambled onto the bridge and tried again. "Who's tripping across my bridge?" I yelled. The goat was bigger than the first. He didn't seem scared either. "Oh, hey," he said. "We just want to graze in that awesome patch of grass over there. Are you cool with that?" Sure, that's," I started to say, then caught myself. I mean, I'm going to gobble you up." Maybe you could wait for my big brother," the goat said. "The guy is huge." "Fine," I waved the goat off. Before I could refresh my tea, trip, trap, for the 3rd time I pulled myself onto the bridge. "Who's that tramping across my bridge?" I said to the biggest goat I'd ever seen. I thumped my chest. "I'm going to gobble you up. Like, right now. Yep, that's exactly what I'm going to do. Gobble you up. Just watch me." The big goat stood in front of me, trembling. "Wait a minute," I said. Are you really scared?" He nodded. "Me too," I confessed in a rush. "I don't want to hurt anyone, really, but the Troll Patrol says I have to either act like a troll or move. And I really love my bridge." The goat continued to stare at me. "I might be big," he whispered, "but I'm not brave."
Do your brothers tease you? I asked. Sometimes, he admitted. They didn't think you would actually come to the bridge, did they? I said. He shook his head. But you did, I told him. You were scared and you came here anyway. So you really are brave. I am? He asked. Yes, I said. Oh, this couldn't have worked out better. Let's give them all a good show, I said. We'll just pretend to fight. Your brothers will change their minds about you, and the Troll Patrol will change their minds about me. And that's just what we did. Whee, hi, ping, bang, pow. These days, my life under the bridge is better than ever. Every so often, Big Bad Billy and I put on a huge pretend fight. It's making him feel better about himself. My troll skills might be improving, too. I haven't gotten any more letters from the Troll Patrol. Now, how about some more bread and jam? The end.
Fairy tales about trolls
And the
three Billy Goats Gruff. Wasn't that one funny? I love the reverse fairy tales. Let's go ahead and sing about 3 little ducks. Are we ready? 3 little ducks that I once knew. Fat ones, skinny ones, fair ones too. But the one little duck with the feather on his back, he led the others with the quack, 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 quack. He led the others with the quack, quack, quack. Down to the river they would go, wibble wobble to and fro. But the one little duck with the feather on his back, he led the others with the quack, 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 quack. He led the others with the quack, quack, quack. Back from the river they would come, wibble wobble to and fro. But the one little duck with the feather on his back, he led the others with the quack, 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 quack. He led the others with the quack, quack, quack. Very good. Last book.
Jack and the Beanstalk and the French Fries. Written by Mark Teague. Published by Orchard Books, which is an imprint of Scholastics Incorporated. Jack lived with his mother in a small house at the edge of a village. They were very poor. They were so poor that when their cow stopped giving milk, Jack's mother feared that they would starve. "Quickly, son," she said, "take the cow to the market and sell her for as much as you can. Everything depends on it." Jack headed off with the cow in tow. After a while, he stopped to rest, and when he did, a stranger appeared. "I will trade you these magic beans for that cow," said the old man. "Magic beans?" said Jack. "You must think I'm a dodo." "Not at all," said the stranger, "and these beans are quite magical. Plant them, and you will have all that you desire." "Honest?" said Jack. What he desired at the moment was food. "Honest," said the stranger. So they made the deal, and Jack returned home with the beans. "Foolish boy!" cried his mother. "You have ruined us!" She tossed the beans out the window and sent Jack to bed without any supper. When he awoke the next morning, a strange light filled Jack's room. Giant leaves poked through the window. He stuck his head out and saw an enormous beanstalk growing in the backyard. "Ma!" he cried, running downstairs. "Check out the beanstalk!" "I already did, and look, I made us bean porridge for breakfast." Jack ate the porridge. It wasn't the best thing ever, but it beat starving. "Well, I guess our problem is solved," he said, and headed off to school. After that, Jack and his mother ate beans all the time. They ate bean salad and bean soup, pickled beans and refried beans, baked beans, minced beans, mashed beans, breaded beans, bean sprouts, and bean dip. After a while, Jack grew tired of beans. He dreamed of burgers. He dreamed of French fries. Couldn't we have something else? He grumbled, staring at his bean chowder. Why would we want anything else? Said his mother. Beans are nutritious and delicious, and, best of all, they are free. And thanks to the magic beanstalk, there were always more of them. The stalk produced enormous quantities of beans. They grew through the spring, the summer, and the fall. Even in winter, they kept coming. Jack's mother shared beans with the neighbors, and the neighbors' neighbors, and the neighbors' neighbors' neighbors. Soon, the entire village was eating them. At first, everyone seemed grateful. But the feeling didn't last. At dinner time, Jack could hear the howls of children from blocks away. Please, they cried, no more beans. School was even worse. Kids glared at him over their bean-filled lunches. His classmates said, "It's all your fault. You never should have planted that thing." "I didn't," said Jack. "Not really." But nobody believed him. Big kids threw bean sandwiches at him. Bullies chased him home from school. This has to stop, he thought, but he didn't know what to do. On his birthday, Jack was given a bean bag, a bean shooter, and a slice of bean cake topped with a dollop of ice bean. That does it, he thought as he lay in bed. The beanstalk has to go. Next morning, he grabbed a hatchet and stomped outside. He was about to give the stalk a good whack when the stranger appeared once again. "Wait," he said, the old man. "Aren't you curious what's up there?" "I know what's up there," said Jack. "Beans." "Don't be foolish," said the stranger. "Climb here. I'll give you a boost." Just then, an angry mob appeared at the end of the street. Among them were the worst bullies from school. They carried torches and pitchforks. They chanted, "No more beans! No more beans!" One of them spotted Jack. "Look, it's the Bean Kid!" "Okay," said Jack, "I'll climb." He gave his hatchet to the stranger and scrambled up the beanstalk. Up and up he went until the village looked small below him. Jack wasn't crazy about heights, but bullies were worse. He kept climbing. The beanstalk disappeared into a cloud. He realized he was hungry for anything other than beans. But there was nothing to eat and no way to go but up. Finally, the beanstalk arrived at the top of a cliff. From there, a path wandered off into the distance. Jack followed the path until he came to the front door of a huge castle. Hunger made him bold. There must be food in there, he thought as he slipped inside. Jack wandered gloomy hallways until he came to an immense kitchen. A giant woman stood at a wooden table. She was canning beans. "Ugh," said Jack. "What are you doing here?" she cried, dropping her can. "I was hoping for something to eat." "Silly boy, don't you know where you are? My husband is a giant, twice as big as me, and lately he's been very grumpy." "I'll bet it's the beans," said Jack. "Don't be ridiculous," she said. "Beans are nutritious and delicious, and, best of all, they're free." But Jack was right. Ever since the mighty stalk had appeared, the giants had been eating nothing but beans, and Mr. Giant was sick of them. Loud footsteps sounded in the hallway. "Fee, fi, fo, say, what's for lunch?" "Quick," hissed Mrs. Giant. "You must hide." Jack dove headfirst into a flour barrel. A moment later, Mr. Giant strode into the kitchen. "Boy, I am hungry." "Good," Mrs. Giant said. "I made you a nice bean salad." "Bean salad?" he cried. "But all we ever have is beans, and I hate beans." "We love beans," she said, "and they're good for you. How do you think you got so big?" "Dunno, but you eat 'em, and you're puny." "I'm busy," she said. "Now eat your salad and stop complaining." The giant ate, but he didn't stop complaining. "Beans," he grumbled, "what I wouldn't give for a plate of French fries." Without thinking, Jack said, "Here, here." "What was that?" cried the giant, leaping to his feet. Nothing," said his wife. "I know what I heard, and it came from that flour barrel." The giant stomped over to the barrel and plucked Jack up by his feet. He turned to his wife. "What is this?" "It's just a boy," said Mrs. Giant. "He was looking for something to eat." "Maybe he is something to eat. Look, he's already breaded." "Don't be disgusting," she said. "Yes," said Jack, "don't be disgusting." The giant set Jack on the table, but he was still angry. "You know what's disgusting? Beans." He dumped a bushel on his head. "You see? Disgusting." He overturned another bushel and another. He picked up great handfuls of beans and tossed them in the air. Soon beans were flying everywhere. Jack joined in. They made a terrific mess, and as they did, they chanted, "No more beans!" "Stop!" cried Mrs. Giant. "Both of you should be ashamed. If you don't like beans, plant something else." "Plant?" said Jack. "Something else?" said the giant. "A vegetable garden, you ninnies, with potatoes, for instance." "Why, taters," said her husband. "To make French fries!" cried Jack. "Of course, we'll plant some right away." "First, you'll clean this kitchen," said Mrs. Giant. As soon as they were done, they headed down the beanstalk. The bullies were waiting at the bottom. "Here he is," they cried when Jack appeared. Jack wasn't worried. "Meet my friend," he said. Once the uproar died down and the bullies went home, Jack and the giant spent the rest of the day planting a garden. "Grow!" shouted the giant. "Patience," said Jack. Soon the giant grew bored and headed back up the stalk. But Jack tended his garden every day. The vegetables grew and grew. In fact, whatever magic had produced the beanstalks seemed to be working on the other plants as well. Before long, the backyard was bursting with carrots, corn, potatoes, tomatoes, and asparagus. Everything was enormous. There was so much food, they didn't know what to do. So Jack and his mother cooked up a feast. The smell spread across the village and all the way up the beanstalk. By dinner time, everyone was there, even the giants. It was the most stupendous meal anyone could remember. They all agreed that the food was delicious and nutritious. And best of all, were the French fries! The end.
Did you know a beanstalk could grow that high all the way up into the sky? I think I'd like to try to climb that.
Yeah.
You would?
Yeah.
Sophia's an expert tree climber, so she would love to do that. Let's sing our almost last song. We're going to sing Fairy Tales, and this one goes to the Jingle Bell tune. We'll sing it kind of slowly so we don't get mixed up, because this is a good one. I like this one. Ready? Once upon a time, in a land far, far away, a girl kissed a frog that just made her day. Far across the town, Red Riding Hood took fright. She found a wolf in Granny's bed when she told her good night.
Oh, fairy tales, read them every day. Oh, what fun it is to hear how Goldilocks got away. Hey! Fairy tales, full of joy and laughter. Do you know how this one ends? Why, it's happily ever after. Yay! Good job.
So, now it's time to do our craft. Go ahead and get out your story time bag. And inside, there's really not much you need this time. You have a packet that has a beanstalk on it and some other leaves attached to it. You'll need that. And then you should have a baggie that has 2 beans inside of it. These are lima beans. We'll do that part next. Let's go ahead and let's talk about our beanstalk. Our activity for today is we're going to practice our numbers. I know this is really hard to see. If you want to color your leaves green, you totally can. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my little Jack. Do you see him in the corner over there? Little Jack. I'm going to take him and I'm going to cut him out. Okay, so I cut my friend Jack out. He's ready. And the next thing you're going to need to do is you'll need to cut out your leaves. So Sophia and I are going to take a minute. We're going to cut out all of our leaves and then we'll be right back. So now we have all of our leaves cut out and you can see we did not cut them out perfectly, and that's okay, because what we're going to do is we're going to make a fun game out of this. We're going to take all of our leaves and turn them upside down so we cannot see the numbers on them. And then if you want, you can kind of mix them around, and we're going to practice our counting today. So I want you to have little Jack here, and I put my beanstalk up here behind me just so it's easier for you all to see, but you can do it down on your table. That's perfectly fine. If you can see, you have little marks on all of your leaves starting at the bottom. These are called tally marks. And we're going to count them today. So if you look at this leaf right here, how many marks are on the leaf? Just 1. Let's count how many are on this leaf. 1, 2. How about here? 1, 2, 3. So we have 1, 2, 3. Can you guess what's going to be on this one? Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now don't let this trick you. Let's come up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That one that goes right across is number 5. So we have 5. We don't have to keep counting them, but 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're going to practice having our friend Jack climb the beanstalk. Okay? So Sophia, do you want to move Jack? And
Yes,
I'll be
please.
the leaf chooser person?
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to pick up a leaf, and however, what the number is on the leaf, that's how many spaces we're going to move Jack. Are we ready? Oh. 1. So Jack is going to climb up to space number 1. Okay, that one was easy. That's a starter. Ready? Let's see. 4. Okay, Sophia, can you start off and count up to space number 4?
1, 2, 3, 4.
4. There we go. Jack's got up to space number 4. All right, now let's do, here's the big one, starting back at the bottom. Number 9. Sophia has butterfingers and poor Jack fell down. Number 9. Ready? Starting at the bottom.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
9. Oh, he's almost to the top there. He almost made it. Let's see. Let's start at the bottom. Number 7. Can we count from the bottom? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Very good. What's this one? Do you know what number this is? It's the number 2.
Start at the bottom. 1, 2.
That was easy.
Number 8. 1,
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
8. Oh, well, he's practicing a lot. I think he's getting a lot of exercise today. Number 5. Staying alive. 1,
1,
2.
2.
Oh my. Let's start over.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5. Excellent work. Oh, I think we made it. Number 10.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
He made it. Hurrah. Good job. Jack made it. Hooray. We still have 2 we can do. You can do it and practice counting some more, or you can start all over again. Or maybe if you're really clever, do you have blocks at home? Like Legos or blocks? Maybe you can use your blocks and make your own giant beanstalk. You can choose a number and then put that many blocks, stack them up, and see if you can put 8 blocks stacked on top of each other. That would be so fun. All right, let's go ahead and we're gonna do our craft. You know what, we can leave them there. Jack can stay there. He worked hard, he can stay.
Yep.
We're going to do a super easy peasy craft today, and we're going to grow our own beanstalk. Don't worry, this is not a fairy tale. So unfortunately, our beanstalk's probably not gonna reach up to the sky. But that's okay, we can still grow our own plant. So you received a baggie, and inside your baggie were 2 lima beans. We're going to see if we can grow some stalks from our beans. And check out how easy this is. Bag, beans, marker, paper towel, and some water. You can probably just use your sink at home. I don't have a sink in here, so I brought some water with me. Okay, how do we make plants grow? Plants or seeds, these are our seeds today, need a few things in order for them to start growing. What's one thing that they need?
Water.
They gotta have water. Do you get thirsty? Plants get really thirsty, and they need lots of water. What's the other thing that plants need?
Sun.
They need sun. Okay, well, there's no sun in here, but we can fix that afterwards. What you need to do with your marker, if you want to, you can put today's date on the bag. Today is January 16th. 19th. I'm close. January 19th. Okay, I put the date on the bag, and that's just if I want to remind myself when I did it, so we can see how long it takes to start growing our beanstalk. The next thing you want to do is take a paper towel, and this is what you're going to put your water on. We don't want to put the water in the baggie because too much water can also hurt your seeds. So we're going to get our paper towel good and wet, but not super soaking. I just stuck my paper towel in some water. I'm gonna squeeze out a little bit of the extra, just so it's not dripping. And you can see my paper towel is good and wet. Now I'm gonna stick it inside of my baggie. And then from there, all I have to do is take my beans and set them on the baggie. I'm going to seal it up really nice and tight. And then I'm gonna take this baggie and I'm gonna hang it in a window that gets hit by lots of direct sunlight. And I think I'm gonna hang this one up in our kids' room in the library. So if you come into the library and you see a weird looking baggie hanging up in the window, that's what this is. And I will be checking back every couple of days to check on our beans to see if they're growing, and I'll update you. But that's it. That's how easy today's craft is. Show us your beanstalks in the comments below and see, did your beanstalk sprout and create roots and leaves and plants? Here's what they look like about 2 weeks later. It's been hanging up in our window for about 2 weeks. We did have a really good snowfall in that time, and there wasn't a ton of sun, but you can definitely see lots of condensation, which is all the water droplets, and some roots are definitely starting to grow. So I'm going to leave it up and we'll see what happens later.
That's it. I hope you guys had fun today. Let's go ahead and we're sing our last song. Our next story time next week is going to be all about snow. And it's cold, so that's fitting. The more we read together, 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 the more we read together, the better it is. 'Cause reading and singing and laughing together is how you learn the 6 skills for reading by 6. Thank you, everybody. Be safe. See you next time.